Welcome to CYSZ Gaming. This is your host, the King Paradigm, bringing you some Mortal Kombat gameplay versus Madzin right now, who is arguably one of the greatest Grandmaster Sub-Zeros of all time right now. I mean, don't say that too loud. Tom might hear us. Gotta be quiet. So while you're watching this battle, I'm actually gonna go over the patch notes with you guys that's coming out tomorrow. Now, I didn't grab every single character with every single adjustment they did, but I took most of the characters and got the highlights of what changes the game for that character. So that way it keeps it kind of exciting and it's not so brainy, you know. So the overview of the whole patch is that there's no more armored launchers. Like, all the characters that would launch people, like Melina's Roll that launched, and other stuff that would like Reptile's Claw that would hit you and then launch you in the air, and you basically be like, what the fuck? All that shit, basically, they took all the armor away from that. Also, they did a lot of overhead nerfs. They basically nerfed damn near every overhead in the game. Like, they just made it so it takes longer to come out, so it's not, it's like a 40, actually it'd be 60. It's like not 50-50s no more. No, it's like 60. It's not a lot anymore now. It's better. So to start off, they increased the energy cost to start running to 25, up from 15. So it actually costs you 25% more of the speed to run than it did before. Also, if you get hit while you're running, you'll lose an additional, like, where is it? It would drain 50 of your energy if you get hit while you're running. So now you're already spending so much running. You're already spending more energy running at the person, but at the same time, if they hit you, you lose even more energy. So you gotta basically be conscious of it. I thought just the mechanic of making it run more, it takes more energy is just good enough to me, but I guess the punch is an added thing to make it even worse. Cause I'm like, they could have just made it so it was just increased a little higher, and then you kind of just had to juggle with your shit. But now it's like you gotta make sure you run in at the right time when you get hit. Now you can't break and you gotta wait to recover because they didn't buff the recovery frames for run. That's what's the important part. That didn't get buffed, so you kind of gotta deal with that. Also, like on a little note, the counter message, there's a counter message they added now. So if you counterattack or punish somebody, there's actually gonna be a fucking message that says that you countered that motherfucker. Goddamn. So, also, delayed wake up will no longer activate if the block button is pressed or held while holding down. So you basically, if you're doing delayed wake up and you're holding down, you're trying to do what we call it, you can't do it while you're blocking. Like, you can't hold block and then hold down at the same time. Like, you gotta just hold down and then I guess block when you get up. So you gotta kind of time it now. Okay, so that's the basic overview. So when it comes to Alien specifically, while attacking with the tail, Alien has an extended hurt region. So with that back tail that Alien always does that's really far and long range, it actually has a hurt box now extended. So now you actually can actually hit the tail and it actually hurt him, even if he's at a giant distance. His forward back kick, basically, which is the overhead move that he uses to mix up, is 19 frames up from 17. So now it takes longer for it to come out. So now you have more of a chance to react to that. The tail slam, which is the EX tail flip, has no more armor. Top tier boys are getting taken out. Come on, 2016. So tail flip and tail slam are both at 20 frames now too. So they even take longer to come out. The Xeno strike is now plus 14 on hit and is down from 22 plus. So before, when Alien would jump on you and start hitting you and shit, like he had a hit advantage of 22 frames. Now it's down to 14 now. Also, the tail snag is at 14 on hit now, down from 20. And tail grab is 18 on hit, down from 48. Because remember, he tail grab you, you'd be sitting there for 18 years waiting for it to get up and thinking like, damn, why not block low? Like, now you good, because now it's only plus 18 on hit instead of down 48. So that's pretty much wraps up Alien. So Baraicho now. Now Baraicho, they hooked my boy up. Like, Baraicho basically His dash now is 26 frames, down from 33. So now his dash forward is like instant now. His run startup is 13 frames, down from 15. It's only 2 frames, but it still helps him. His backdash recovers 2 frames faster and travels slightly further. So now they actually made his backdash a little further, because before it wasn't even that far. So now you're basically set up to where like you can whip punish people now. You're basically set up to where you can counter people's attacks and stuff now, which is way better than what it was before, because before when you backdash it wouldn't even work. Now, variation-wise, Bartitsu, the one with the stick, he can now destroy incoming projectiles. Basic projectiles will get destroyed if you time that perfectly right. Also in Dragon Breath, which is my variation person, Up Fire Spit and Fire Breath, if you do those 2 special moves on time, it'll destroy the projectile. So Up Fire Spit is the fire with the arm, and Fire Breath is the when he just shoots his fire out of his breath. And if you do it at the right time, it'll destroy projectiles. So now Baraicho cannot be zoned out. It's a new day now, everyone. It's a new day. So now we're on to Cassie. So Cassie forward front kick now has a startup of 20 frames, up from 15. Which I don't really play with Cassie, but I'm pretty sure that's overhead. Pretty positive that's an overhead move. I told you they made everybody's overhead pretty much like, what the fuck? You know, everybody they don't have like a strong overhead anymore. Okay, that's enough with Cassie. So Ermac, the force port, which is basically the EX teleport, has no armor. So you can't like wake up and then get hit and then go into a whole combo because you launched me after you did that wake up. That's done. Okay, forward, back, kick, which is the overhead Ermac has. Now has a starter frame of 16, up from 12. It's negative 25 on block, down from negative 22. So that would mean that it's basically, it's like a really bad move now. Like now they made it so like when you do it, it takes longer and it's like worse if they block it. And it does 5 damage, down from 7, so it does less damage too. Like they basically completely eradicated that move. Let me make sure I made this right. Down from 20. Yeah, they made it pretty bad. It was already really punishable. Like I had no problem punishing the overhead kick, so I thought it was kind of unnecessary. But whatever. So Aaron Black now. So Aaron Black, his overhead move is 23 startup frames, up from 16. So it takes 23 startup frames now to hit that overhead. The slide shots have 2 hits of armor now, so just be aware of that. It's not a launcher, so you know you just take that hit. But you're most likely not gonna stop it because it's already quick as fuck. So most likely. Okay, Outlaw. Sand throw, when he throws the sand out, has no more armor. But they buffed it a little bit because now it's negative 5 on block, up from negative 20. So if they do it on block, they're only negative 5 instead of negative 20. And it has a pushback now and it has a pushback too when you do it. And it does 4% more damage. Like it says 4 more damage. So I'm gonna just 4 more damage onto whatever damage is at right now. Okay, try to get through all these notes. Johnny Cage, fist cup. The fist bump can now be enhanced after activation, which then can be canceled into any attack or special move. So basically, you can enhance the that fist cuff buff basically, and you can combo after and put it as part of a combo. It's basically a cancel now. Okay, Kano, cutthroat variation. His overhead basically it can't be canceled anymore if it gets blocked. And it is negative 15 on block now, down from negative 10. So now you can get punished pretty easily if I block it, and you can't cancel. So it's basically setting me up right to punish you. So keep that in mind. Kenshi, balance. The telekinetic slash has a different reaction, which allows for combos afterwards. If you do the EX overhead slash and balance Kenshi, it'll basically combo now. If you guys are watching the video, it's pretty cool. And they say if you do it close enough, you can run up and do a whole combo. So it's kind of cool. So Katana, back, away, back punch, which is the overhead Katana has, they actually buffed it to 18 frames instead of 25. So now it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to, it's going to be a little bit more, it's not so much you got to watch it, you can kind of see now. Alright, so we got Rising Blades can no longer be canceled into air special moves on hit. Rising Fan and Rising Blades can be canceled into air enhanced special moves on hit, block, or miss. They basically made it so you can actually cancel the rising fan and burn extra bar meter to actually get a combo into it instead of doing it regularly now. Also, I don't know why they did this, but they increased the fan projectile damage by 1, so that's good news for Sonic Fox, you know, because he always liked to throw the fans and sit back. Like, now it's got an extra damage boost on it. Okay, now Katana Assassin. Assassin Impale now has 2 hits of armor, so if she runs at you, you might as well just say, fuck it, it's not gonna, it's a done deal. She's gonna hit you with 2 hits of armor. Do anything? It's a fucking high now. They changed it to a high, so I can duck that shit now. Thank God. Kodokan Blood God. Obsidian Totem, which is the totem, is a purple totem that takes less damage. It only lasts for 240 frames instead of 400 frames. So now Kodokan can't just pull up the fucking shit and just sit there and take 50% combos, only taking 10% from the combo. Now, it doesn't last that long anymore. So then we got War God, and they got like the sword takedown and the sword quake. Now have 2 hits of armor. Yeah. The overhead sword smash no longer has armor. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The overhead fucking sword move.
Taste the blade of Auschwitz.
You already know what I'm talking about. So we got sword tosses now, plus 13 on block, down from negative 18 or negative plus 18. So basically, it's not so plus on block now. So if he throws a sword at you, you're not sitting there for 18 years thinking like, damn, I had to fucking block this, and it took 8 years for him to throw the shit, but now you're good. The spinning sword tosses, the EX version, is now plus 10 on block instead of plus 20. Because I remember when he threw a big one and run at you, you'd be sitting there for 20 plus frames, and he can go up and basically do a mix-up and you're done. So now that's at plus 10 frames now. So Kodokan Sun God, the Moon God Choke, now has 2 hits of armor. So now, basically the EX on your knees has 2 hits of armor, which I don't think is necessary. It was already OP as it is, but it has 2 hits of armor now, so you gotta watch out for that in your pack. So my boy Kung Lao, the main, well Quan Chi's my main too now, but Kung Lao, Quan Chi, whatever. So Kung Lao, the back front punch now hits high and is 7 frames, down from 12. So it's 7 frames. That's fucking 5 frames difference now. But it's a high, but I'm gonna be using that move a lot now when I get the fucking update. The advanced teleportation now has 2 hits of armor and disappears 10. I said 10 frames, up from negative 8. Kung Lao's down 1 is now 7 frames right now. Startup frames, down from 8 frames. We love the down ones, don't we? I was already cheap with just the 8 frames. Now I'm at 7. Shit. Kung Lao, the Vortex no longer has armor. The Cyclone no longer has armor. And Hat Trick you can kind of combo more easy. Okay, so now we're on Triborg. Triborg, his back front punch with his overhead is now 22 frames. It was 18 before, so yeah, basically. And he has 4 more on hit advantage cancel. So if he does hit you with overhead, he has a advantage, 4 more hit advantage for the cancel. He cancels with something else. So Takeda Ronin, his back punch, back away punch, is 20 startup frames now, up from 15. So his overhead basically takes longer to come out now, which I told you they basically nerfed all the overheads. So Sub-Zero Cryomancer, they gave Cryomancer a command grab now that he can basically combo and he can cancel into on hit. Now let's have a moment of silence for Sonya Blade. They fucked my girl up. Like I don't even fuck with this variation, but I know that they pretty much fucked her up because I'm like, damn. I tried to use it one day and I could barely use it as it was, and I'm like, they fucked her up. So Sonya Demolition. She can only use 1 type of grenade in the same combo now. She cannot use 3 stun grenades and then reload. She can only use 1 and then use a different grenade in 1 combo. So now she's kind of fucked now. Also, her overhead is now 19 frames from 12. Like, how fucked up is that? They just eradicated Sonya Blade. Like, what is Scar gonna do now? It's a done deal. Like, he only used 1 grenade now. And I was thinking like she has a reload, so it's not like it was really cheap. She had to reload. But now I don't know what he's gonna do. But that's pretty much that. Scorpion, his teleport, his EX teleport doesn't have armor. His takedown move has 2 hits of armor now. His minion slam basically got some plus frames on block. for his minion slam and minion strike, basically. Okay, Reptile Claw Pounce does 9 damage up from 7. The Claw Pounce no longer allows for a juggle combo afterwards though, and is now -6 on block from -19. So the EX Claw Pounce move is basically, it don't juggle anymore, and it's safe now pretty much. It's -6 on block from 19, so it's kind of good. Claw Slash, which is that overhead move that Reptile always does, has no armor on it. Slippery Slide now has 2 hits of armor and is 37 plus on hit, down from 40 plus. So now his slide has 2 hits of armor. So. And now my boy Quan Chi, his overhead, which is his back 2, is a mid now, which everybody was scared about. I was fucking nervous. I thought he was dead, but now they actually made his forward 4 is now an overhead now, and it does 7 damage up from 5, so it actually does more damage too. So he did give him an overhead, so he can still have armor. Alright, Melina, flip and roll, no longer recovers in time to juggle the opponent. So now you have to EX when you EX Melina's roll, you have to do an additional amount of meter to actually keep it going. But she can still juggle with a regular roll, basically. The back 1 that Melina has that was extremely good is now it hits high, so you can duck it. So you're not like sitting there taking it all day. She can just keep doing it. And it starts up at 10. It starts up quicker though. It starts up at 10 frames, down from 11. So we did kind of buff it a little bit. Liu Kang, his down 1 is now 7 frames, down from 9. So now he's down 1 is 7 frames. He can, if he throws out in Duelist, if he activates his Soul Spear, it can be ignited with Soul Blast or Solar Flare. So he can kind of ignite his shit now. Kung Jin, his overhead is now 24 frames from 19 frames, basically. And that pretty much concludes all the patch notes, like all the big ones that I thought was like a big deal out of all the characters. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and comment what's your worst and favorite thing that's in the patch that you enjoy. And aside from that though, CYSZ out.
Predator win.